All right, we're gonna get this show on the road. It's 6:30 for our regular EDC meeting on the 8th. We'll start off with director comments, but first, this is just the four of us. Jesse, Ronnie, and Mike are all out of town or state or country, so it's just the four of us. But we do have a quorum. And Sean, do you have anything?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. No real comments from my side.
Thomas?
I'll add some on behalf of Mike Pond since he's not here. Jamming on Jarbo starting the concert series on Saturday the 2nd with our first one for the season.
And that's Loomis, right?
It's a blues and rock band. It is called Hamilton Loomis Band.
It is Hamilton Loomis. Yeah, that's gonna be good. He's really good. Mark?
I don't have any right now.
Most of my comments are in agenda items or stuff that we're going to be discussing later. So, but the sources and uses statement was printed up along with our financial snapshot. And if you look at February or this past month's tax income, it was just over $30,000, which I look back and as long as I've been recording this, which has been, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I've never seen it that high. So that's good. I don't think it's ever reached over 30,000 of our revenue coming in. And since it's February, I'm sure that's December's recordings, so that's why it's high because of Christmas. But still, that's really, really good. And the sources and uses statement was updated. I spoke to Brent earlier, and we kind of shuffled some stuff around. And it's kind of a living document, so that's always going to change. But you can see we're still in good financial shape, even with some of the more known projects and stuff that we think that we're going to be tackling, at least through July. So everything's looking good there. Did you have any questions about any of the financials?
Can you clarify on the marketing and advertising, what's the breakdown there?
The breakdown on these two items is assuming that we do want to join a visitor bureau, the CVB, that we discussed at the last meeting, is 15, and then 5 is just what we've allocated already for the 60th anniversary celebration. The budgeted line item from our workshop. And again, that's obviously going to move. That the 15 in February's that's still TBD. So.
And then when there's someone on the check register for that?
Yes.
So you already paid some amount down, right?
Of which, neither of those are on the check registry. None of those have been paid out.
Bay Area, Houston, invoice 2,500.
That is this ongoing contractual services.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, that's unrelated. Okay, that's all. Item number 3, city update.
Good evening. As far as the city update, we've got some discussion items further in the agenda, but one thing you may have noticed is the 60th anniversary banners that are popping up. We're installing those as we have time and we get good weather, and we have to pick a time where traffic's not a consideration, but we've got some double banners along Clear Lake Road. We weren't going to put them on every single pole because we didn't want to clutter up some of the visual stuff that we want people to see, like crossing gate lights and things like that. We also will be putting some along FM 2094 and look for those to start popping up later this week. And I'll probably order some more brackets. I didn't order enough brackets for everything because I was suspect on whether they were going to work for us. So I'll go back and order some more and we'll get them put up. Total of 50 banners. Incorporates the EDC logo as well as the emblem for the 60th anniversary for the city. Any questions?
All right, thanks. Do we have any, unscheduled visitors? Be none. We have no scheduled visitors, so we'll go on to the consent agenda. If anybody had a chance to look at the financials and check registry, if there's anything we need to pull out and discuss. If not, we can move along. All right, speeding right through this. We'll go to item number 6, discussion and possible action involving Walker Parking Consultant proposals. I had this added to the agenda thinking that we would have some feedback from Casey, who spoke at the last meeting, from Walker Parking. He is working on a few proposals, for additional work for us, mainly some of the things that we discussed at the last meeting, and those are not ready yet, so there's not much to discuss, or obviously approve. So if y'all didn't have any questions on that, we can move on, and that'll be on the agenda for next month. All right. Item number 7, update on Galveston Bay Brewing Brent Spear.
The update there, they are moving forward with construction. They have some additional ideas they're working on some consolidation of lots so they can place a ground level deck along the water, across from the back of their location. They have some other ideas they're working through with the building department, and what I'm working on is I'm trying to get the amendment to the agreement, which is actually a purchase lease or a purchase agreement with the Lee family or Mrs. Lee, that spreads the payments of that lot out over several years. We're in the middle of that, and we need to have that agreement amended. It's been worked through with Olson and Olson. I provided it to Mrs. Lee several months ago, and she's presented it to her different attorneys, but no one's ever got back to her, and no one's ever contacted us, and we've reached out to them. So I'm hopeful to move forward, hopefully this week, to affect that change and get that taken care of. I think it's just a combination of attorneys that you use for regular business probably aren't well equipped or have the skill set to work with this kind of commercial complex. Doesn't happen very often amendment that allows for a licensing agreement. It's really not an easement, but it's a licensing agreement. So I don't know everything about that. I know it's complicated, and I think Mr. Boltinghouse was involved in that, and it's kind of a complex answer to what we thought was an easy question. So that's what we're working on.
Any questions or discussion? All right. Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
Just actually a quick comment. I guess, Andrew, you put the article out with the interview with the two guys from there. That was very good. Thank you for doing that.
All right. Item number 8, discussion and possible action regarding east and west parking, city parking lot paving. Much like item number 6, this was something I had on there in case we had information for us to discuss and talk about, but we didn't really get any proposals or information on time. So, but we are working with Shellmark. Shellmark is who Brent has been working with on the boat ramp. Shell Bottom Park. It's really confusing. Shellmark and Shell Bottom. I always keep solving this. Shellmark is working at Shell Bottom Park. And when I spoke to Casey, who spoke from Walker Consultants, one of the small engineering outfits that he mentioned happened to be Shellmark. So we already had a relationship with them, and that hopefully will work out well. Brent, I don't know if you had anything to add. We're still waiting on some information. He said he was going to gather some stuff late last week and hopefully get back to us early this week, but just wasn't here in time.
Yeah, Mr. Michna, who's one of the principal owners there, and also a PE, did speak to him on the phone and explained, I think, what we were inquiring about, and gave him all the information. The thing that works to our benefit is that we do have the concrete, kind of like the concrete edging, and we have our storm sewers in place, and we also have our buried power in place. So for an engineering firm, it should be a little bit easier, just kind of connecting the dots in the elevations and getting things to flow in the right direction. So he did indicate that he was going to try to get out here and walk through it. He didn't know if he was going to need me or not, but I offered to accompany him if he so desired. So I was out yesterday. I'll be out tomorrow, and I'll reach out to him towards the end of the week, see if he needs anything.
I mentioned on the email that I'm copied in on, but if you're out, or even if he wants to run by on a weekend or something and I'm here, he can always contact me and I can meet him if he needs somebody.
Okay.
If I happen to be here.
Thank you.